Next, part 2 is the bagging to ship it back. So now I've got this. I'm actually going to fill out my paperwork next. So I would just take your garbage, throw it all in here, set it aside. You don't need this anymore. You're just a little bit more organized. Okay, so you need to make sure this to whom it concerned letter is in the package to get mailed back. This is in case there's any issues at customs because it is a live human sample going across the borders. These get tested in the States, so it's very important this letter is in there. Okay, so let's just put these to the side and fill out your custom use form. Okay, so there is 3 of these lovely forms. I know it's super annoying. I need you to fill out the ship from part here. Okay, so that is you. It is from site name, leave it blank, but you need to write your address, state, country, so not state, sorry, province, country, and phone number. Instead of site name, just use your actual name. So I'm going to fill this out for myself. Caitlin Paquin is at the top. I'll use our business address. Okay, so once you've filled out the date here in the corner, there's just a couple more things that we need to fill out on this form. And this is your instruction sheet on how to fill out these forms. So this is the instruction sheet I just had you place over on your FedEx pile previously. So if you need any extra help, just use this as your reference guide, and it tells you 1, 2, 3, 4 exact instructions here, and then a legend with the number over here on this side to show you exactly where to fill out everything on this form. So we'll just continue to do that together. So you've done your name in the corner, today's date on this side. I've written it the same way that I wrote it on the tube. So just 02/03/2023. So you're doing month, day, year instead of actually writing February. They're quite picky about these things. So number 3 on the invoice number, you're just going to leave that line blank. And for number 4, the tax ID section, leave that blank as well. Okay, so we have done step 1, filling out this form, which is who we're shipping from. We've done step 2, which is our date of today. And then step 3, on here, they want us to leave the invoice number blank, so we're going to leave that blank. Step 4, we also get to leave blank because in Canada, we do not have a tax ID number that we need to add on this form, which would go here. If you need to fill in this number, we will let you know. So I haven't had that experience yet. Anybody in Canada, the US, Australia, you don't need to do this. And then going forward to our next step, number 5 is the next thing you need to complete on here. So number 5, we're going to enter in the shipping date. So I'm going to go drop this off at FedEx tomorrow. So I'm going to fill in tomorrow's date. Fill this in whenever you're planning to ship it. Okay, so number 5, the shipping date, that's going to go right here. So I'm writing February 4th. 2023. Okay, so now the only 3 things are written on this form: from, today's date, tomorrow's date for shipping. Okay, and then we're going to jump down to step 6. We need to enter in who the carrier is. So that's just over here. I'm going to fill in FedEx because that's who it is getting shipped with. It should always be FedEx. Shipping is paid for, included in the kit with FedEx. So then step 7, we need to put the port of loading. So port of loading is where you're shipping your kit from. So I'm shipping this from Vancouver. I'm going to write Vancouver. Vancouver, Canada, not Vancouver, BC. So port of loading, you need to add the city and the country you are shipping from. So FedEx is picking it up from your house. That's your city, country. If you're dropping it off at FedEx in the next town over, then put in that town and then country. Okay, so then our next step is, so just so that there's no confusion, you are only filling in, port of loading, so where it's being shipped from. Port of discharge, that you can just leave blank. And then step down to step 8, an AWB number is actually where you enter in your tracking number from FedEx onto this form. So the AWB number is just right below the port of discharge here. And you're going to find your FedEx tracking number on this FedEx Airway bill. So if we open this, actually tracking is just right here. So it's on the top right corner of the bill. And you'll see FedEx tracking number, and it should be pre-printed on here. So I'm going to fill in that number. My tracking number. Okay, so now my FedEx tracking number is here under the AWB. Our last step on our, what is this called? Sorry, our custom use form. Last step, number 9, fill in our quantity and line total. That should already be done actually for you on all these forms. The quantity is 1, line total 5. So if for some reason that's not on your bill, or on your sheet, sorry, it should say quantity 1, line 5. So if that's not there, you can fill that in. But on all 3 sheets I have, it is already filled in for me. So just take a look at that. And then the last thing you have to do is just sign and date at the very bottom. And today's date, February 3rd. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure that I did fill that in correctly, because you can see at the bottom, so this quantity and line I told you is already filled in. There's nothing down here, the total. Don't worry about that. That's not to be filled out. So this is exactly everything we need to do. So now my form is completed, and I'm going to copy everything I filled out on this form exactly onto my other 2 custom forms. So duplicate everything here onto these 2 sheets, and then you'll have 3 sheets completed exactly like this. So at the end, you're going to have who it's from. This is you, today's date. Then you are going to jump down to whenever you plan on shipping, the shipping date. FedEx, who is shipping it for you, and then where is it being shipped from, your city, your country, and then checking your FedEx form for your tracking number, and then putting in that tracking number under your AWB number, and then just jumping down, make sure that quantity and line are filled out for you. It should be 1 in quantity, 5.00 under the line total, and then jumping down, just signing and date. All done. Okay, put this aside. Fill it out. Boom, your custom form is done. So the last thing we need to do now is fill out your Airway bill. So this is the FedEx form that you are sent. Voila. Okay, so pull this out. Your opposite side of your custom form instructions, we have your FedEx instructions. So that is just this big sheet. I've kept it simple and folded so that I'm not getting confused. So on this side, checking my bill, I'm going to look at my instructions. So number 1 section, I need to fill out my information here. So it wants me to fill out my information here. Who is it from? Okay, same thing, very easy. And then there's a couple other things to fill out. So I'm just going to fill this out quickly, and then we will go through the rest of the form together. So same thing when you're filling out the date, they want month, day, year. So 02/03/23. Don't worry, you do not need to put a sender's FedEx account number. Just leave that part blank, which is next to your date, and then go down to sender's name. You can leave company blank. If if you really want, you could put her helping habit, but let's just leave that blank in case your clinic has ordered the test for you. That might confuse them. So just let's be safe, leave company blank. You can enter your own phone number in case anything gets lost just next to your name. And then your email address they ask for, give them that just so that you can get updates on the shipping. And then the last thing they're asking, an internal billing reference number. Again, just leave that blank. So step 1, you're only filling out here the from. So your date, your name, your address, and your email and phone number. Okay, so it's already pre-printed, as you can see here, who it's going to. So this is the address it's going into the States to be processed. Okay, so once you have your from filled out here with the date, your name, your phone number, address, where you're shipping it from, and your email, then you can jump over just to this side of the page. So again, instructions are here, but we just want to verify. So 4A, it says express packaging service. We want to check off FedEx International Priority. Now, it is actually already checked off for us here in the middle, so you don't need to do anything. I made a mistake and I checked it off here. Don't do that. Just verify that it is checked off in the middle, and if it is not, you can check it off here instead of where I did here. Okay, so the next thing we want to check is 4B. They want us to leave this section blank. So that's just right here. Perfect. I'm not going to do anything. Step 5, they want us to check the FedEx packs. So that is actually checked off for me already. Perfect, right here. So then we go down to step 6A and 6B. They want us to leave both these sections blank, so perfect. And then we're getting down to section 7, which is about the payment. This should be filled out for you already, like the above. So payment, they already have our FedEx account number in here for billing because this test has been paid for. So do not pay for anything unless you've been directed to by your coordinators or myself. So just double check because 99% of the time this test is paid for you and this should be checked off. If it's not, reach out to us and we'll let you know what to do. But you shouldn't be paying for anything. We have an account. It should be sorted. So if that is not checked off for you, reach out. We'll give you the details, but all these tests should be filled out. So 7 is done. That's good to go. The last thing we have to do is just sign it. So number 8 at the very bottom, just below the payment information, sender's signature is what we want. So don't worry about doing the date or the FedEx courier receipt. This part is blank and will be dealt with at FedEx. So we just need your signature at this top line. Okay, woo! Once you're done that, you're good to go. So just to recap on the FedEx Airway bill, you're going to have your date, name, phone number, address, email here. You're going to jump over and just verify that section 4 is filled out for you and that the international priority is checked out. Don't do anything in 4B. 5, you just want to make sure that FedEx packs is checked off for you. Ignore 6A, ignore 6B. Go down to 7, make sure that there's payment information already filled out for you. If not, reach out to your coordinator or myself and we will give you this information, but your test has been paid for and you should not have to pay for anything. So if you've got an email link or a text with a code to pay, reach out to us as well and we'll verify if you need to do that or give you, or we'll just step in and give our account information so that you don't need to worry about that. And then the last thing is jumping down to the bottom. We just need your signature. Ignore this second line. This is for FedEx to sign and date. Okay, so now this is done. You should have 3 custom form bills done as well. So now this is all done and you just have your specimen in your tube done. And now we just need to put it all together and we are ready to mail it. So the last set of instructions you need in order to mail are on the back of this form. Okay, so this is again the form with your custom bill and your Airway bill. Last instructions on mailing are on the very back. Okay, now to ship back your package to FedEx. Once you have your big envelope here, you want to take this and you need to essentially place it in the middle. So this is our envelope. So in order to do that, you remove both pieces of backing, whatever is easier for you. Got this big one, and we are going to just place it right in the middle, and then it sticks nice and easy, and that's there. Okay, so now we have this little package here. When we're ready, we're going to peel this and stick our documents in. So now there's just this little flap here, same thing. So, and stick. Nice. A lot easier if you do this on a flat surface. I'm just doing it upright for the purposes of this video. Okay, but now you've got your little envelope, and you're going to take your 3 custom forms. So all 3 filled out the exact same way, and your Airway bill, and you're going to put them in here. Now you also have this customs letter, which if you read all your instructions, you will note that they said you can throw this out and that you don't need to send it back. It was only for purposes of being sent to you, but I like to include it just in case. You never know what goes on at the borders. So this just explains to customs that it's a human specimen and that everything is done and followed to the regulations, and they can accept it over the border. So once you've got all those papers together, that's when we're going to peel off our purple bit. So it's open. Now be very careful because it's only sticky. Actually, this part is fine. It's not super sticky. So now you can get in there. And we've got our envelope for our documents. Okay, so this is open. You want to have your address. So now that you've got your envelope all set up, you want to make sure that your FedEx bill is ready with your address just on the top and then who it's going to Invitae at the bottom. It does, if you have your paper folded just directly across, you'll be able to see their full address this way. So this is all you need to show when you are putting this in your envelope. So I will just go like this. Slide it right in there, and now you can see waterproof, everything, my bag, my bill. So once you have your documents slid in here, it actually is a little bit of a sticky bit here that I didn't realize, but thankfully it's still sticky, so that is good. You just go seal it over and voila. So again, maybe a flat surface is best, but now you can see my documents are here. And it's actually, it is, like, I could peel it off, but I don't want to right now. It is still going to stick. So once I let that sit for a couple minutes, we should be good. If you don't feel like this is very secure, you can ask the FedEx person when they pick it up, or if you're dropping it off. I think if you use a clear little piece of tape, it would be fine, but it should be fine and sticky after a couple minutes. So this is all good and ready to be shipped. So now we've got our big empty bag. All we have left to do, you still have your empty little cardboard box now because there should be nothing left. You've taken everything out. We've got your sample. You're just going to take our sample, put it nicely in this box. Okay, close up your box. Voila. Drop this in your FedEx bag. And you are good to go. Now to seal this, you can either, have it like this, walk into FedEx and have them do it for you. Honestly, it's fine though to do yourself. I was a little nervous the first time, but you just need to whip off this little sticky, and I'm not going to do it on this one quite yet, but then it peels over. You've got this big flap as well here, and it is going to be a bit bigger than your actual box, but then it is sealed and ready to go in the mail like this. When you're all done putting your kit together to be shipped back, it's very easy to schedule a pickup with FedEx. So you don't even need to go to a FedEx location. If there's not one by you, don't worry about it. And they will pick this up directly from your house. So super easy. Just find your instruction sheet on the very back end. Step 4, schedule a pickup or drop off shipment. So it actually has a FedEx website right on here. You just go here, and they've got a 1-800 number you can call to schedule a pickup. I will actually post it in the details for this video, or you can reach out to Sarah or I, and we will give you that number for FedEx to schedule a pickup. It's also on their website, fedex.com, and you can just give them a call. There's a 1-800 number, and they will come to your house wherever that may be. You just leave this nice little big kit in your mailbox outside, even just outside your front door. They'll see it. If it's a secure residence and you're not worried about someone stealing your package, then they can grab it and they will ship it back to Invitae. It takes about 2 days. It's as fast as shipping as you can get with FedEx. Once it gets to Invitae, it's about a 10 to 20 day turnaround time. So depending on the test, we'll have results in 10 to 20 days. At most 21 days from when they've received it, we will have results in your online portal. So if you don't have access to that, we will get you access and or just send you a PDF copy of the results at the very end. I want to make sure that you know your results, you have a copy of your results, and you understand your results. So if you have any questions after that comes back in, just let us know and we will be sure to help you. Yeah, your last option, if you want, you can research FedEx is near you and drop it off, but I find it's quite convenient, and then you don't need to worry about it or go anywhere if they just pick it up from your house. If you do fold this down, you can see like we can make it quite tiny. I mean, maybe not the bill part, but I can push the box around, and I was able to actually squish this in my little tiny, like regular sized mailbox at a residential home. So if you're worried it's not going to fit, like you can probably squish it in there. It doesn't need to be pretty. The FedEx guy just needs to be able to see it to pick it up. So let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully this video has helped.